everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be spending some time setting up for cycle 4 in my everyday journal, or April, depending on how you want to see it. I am not doing traditionally done planning this year, following the months, although I do tend to put the title on the cover pages of each month. As you can see here for March, I did that as well. But for me, I've been doing cyclic planning this year, and I will have a video linked in the description about what that is by the creator Jashi Corin, who taught me about this. I'm not sure if she is like the OG creator for it, but this is where I've learned it from. If you are interested at all. But essentially I just plan 4 weeks in a block, and work through a quarter and continuations of 4 weeks, and have an extra week which we call reset week, for a total of 13 weeks. And it means that I start every cycle on a Monday and a 4-week block, and end on a Sunday, which I really like. It's very good for my brain to have it all the same that way. It does mean that sometimes a full month will not be shown in that one portion on a calendar spread, like I have been trying to set up with the pencil markings on the right hand page there, which is absolutely fine by me though, because in some cases that would be what would happen anyway if I was setting up for a weekly 7-day from Monday to Sunday anyway. It's working out really well for me, so I'm very grateful to be back doing another cycle for you all. And I'm going to be very transparent. The washi tape that we're working with for this month's theme, or this cycle's theme, is set on Spain, and I have very little information about Spain, so I don't want to come across as giving over information that's inaccurate. So I'm not going to go into depth. If there are things that I put together on this page because the washi tape have it to decorate with, and they don't go together, I am so sorry to any Spanish viewers or people who really love Spain and have knowledge about it. Like I mentioned, I have very little. I know where it is. I really love Spanish horses, and that is pretty much where my knowledge ends. I did do a little bit of digging about the Spanish flag, because I have actually done a voiceover for this, and then realized what I said was so inaccurate that I had to do it again. But I did base my color palette off of the Spanish flag. Now I know that that's mostly red and yellow, but in the emblem, or the coat of arms of Spain, there are other colors. So there was also green and blue. So I decided that I would add that in here. I mostly wanted to do a blue theme because I've done several themes this year already that have yellow or red in it, and I felt like it would be a bit too much to do yet another yellow and red theme. So I really wanted to lean into the blues, which I've done with this cover page here. So there are some changes to the way that I am setting this up for this cycle. I'm not sure if you can hear the banging in the background. My dog, sometimes, if you're new here, you won't know, but if you've watched a few of my videos now, whenever I start talking or narrating a video, she decides that it's the most opportune time to start making as much noise as possible, because it means that I must pay attention to her instead. So she's gone and grabbed herself a toy and then slammed down on my desk. Anyway, as I was saying, I went with a really blue front page here, which is kind of inaccurate, because really when you think of blue and white, you think of Greece, and also I'm going to be doing probably some blue elements in my Italy one. I was sent this washi tape by the washi tape shop. I cannot remember the name of it off the top of my head. It will be in the description below. I'll probably put it across the screen now as well. But I was sent 2 of these washi tapes that travel to Spain and Italy. Now, I have a lot more interest in Italy as a historian. It's where I spent a lot of my time in ancient Rome, and the medieval type era, crusades and stuff like that. So I have a bit more interest there, and so I've always wanted to go to Italy. So I decided that I would do Spain first. My sister actually said do this one first as well. And sometimes I like to ask her for her opinion on how I set up my everyday journal. It just keeps her invested a little bit. You may have seen her on a video a couple of videos back when we were unboxing our Archer and Olive stuff. And I didn't mention it until now, but thank you so much for all the kind messages that were left on that video. It really meant a lot to her. She is neurodivergent, and I shouldn't have to preface that. That's why I didn't in that video. But it's not easy for her to do those types of things, and I'm so grateful for the people that commented saying that they really enjoyed having her in that video. She had so much fun. It was actually really difficult for me because she kept talking, which was really cute for her, and I just let her do it. But it meant that she was having a good time. So editing wise wasn't great for me, but I'm so glad that she was a part of that video, and she has agreed to do some in the future as well, since that was requested as well. So anyway, I do let her choose my themes now and then, or I run them by her. And like I said, she chose this one just to be on its own. I was going to do the two of them together, but I think she's right to have a little bit of a moment for each, because some of the elements in both washi tapes are similar and you may get confused as to which country they're from. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing Italy, the Italian washi tape in the next month or next cycle or not. What is next cycle? May. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it then or for June, which is my birthday month. But it did make sense for me to actually do traveling map type stuff for this cycle. I'm not going to say too much about why, but if you do follow me for my reading journal content, that is a hint for one of the books that we're going to be working on as a theme for April. So I'm really looking forward to setting that up. I haven't actually done that yet. It is the 23rd today. It's my dad's birthday. And bless him, he's having another birthday in heaven. So yeah, it's not exactly ideal that I'm leaving it to the last minute, but we'll get to it. I just had to take some days after our trip. So if you are new here, you don't know that last week I went on a trip, and you also don't know that I have a chronic illness. Well, I have multiple, and that meant that I planned it to the very inch of its life, and even doing that was not successful, unfortunately. So I'm not going to be too negative and get in the downs about it, but essentially the concert was absolutely amazing. We were away Tuesday and came home Wednesday, and by the time I walked through that door on Wednesday, I just looked at my best friend. I couldn't even talk at that point, and she's like, go to bed now. And I did. I slept for about 3 hours and felt a bit more like a human at the end of it. I was just absolutely trashed. Yeah, I won't go into details like I mentioned, but for the concert side of things, it was absolutely amazing. Worth the absolute hell that I've experienced over the last few days. But yeah, it's been really hard to navigate those emotions and like accepting the fact that I had a life-altering experience going to see a band that I've followed for almost 17 years and absolutely loved every moment of that concert and keep reliving. But having to deal with the grief of the life I've lost, that I can't even take a trip for a little bit over 24 hours without it really affecting. Anyway, that's as negative as I'm going to get. Yeah, I haven't had enough time to do a lot of journaling. I did thankfully spend my weekend doing my my everyday journal here. So I not only finished up cycle 3 pages, I also set up for quarter 2, which is only a 2-page spread, and I didn't film it. I should have. And then I went straight into setting up this cycle here. Really, really happy that I exercised my creative side of my brain and could just focus on that while I was resting, and that I had enough energy to do that. I'm also very excited about something which may sound a little bit sad to some people, but I have purchased a bed desk, which sounds so sad. But I've been actually fighting this for a few weeks now. I have been struggling with having enough energy to be up and constantly having to have afternoon sort of like naps / just laying in bed. It's not even needing to nap, it's just needing to be in bed. And so I brought not a like lap desk, but one that's on wheels that you can put over your entire bed. It should be here in the next day or two. We do have to build it, but I'm really looking forward to it because it means that I can accept a bit of the low energy days when I just need to sort of rest in bed and not force myself to be up and sitting at a desk or doing something. And I can still be productive, I can still be creative, but also be able to just stop for a moment and just lay down. Chronic fatigue is not for the weak. You really have to adjust your entire life, and I'm still adjusting. But I'm really excited for this tool now. I was against it. I was like, no, you don't need to be in bed. You don't need to have that. You have a desk. You have multiple desks. Why are we doing another one? But yeah, I've cleaned my room today, which was very exhausting to get ready for it. So it's got a space to sort of rest against the wall when I'm not using it. I can't leave it at the end of my bed like I would really like to, because my dog sleeps at the end of my bed. So yeah. Anyway, I have rattled on a lot about that. But back to what's happening on the screen here. I'm setting up for the week, the 14th week of the year, and I am doing things a little bit differently. You may have seen that I've only just done a cover page and a calendar on the first page I set up. And normally I do like another calendar and maybe a content planner. I've been finding that I've not been getting into my journal enough. So instead of wasting the paper by making a decorating a page and then not using it, I decided to condense everything down. So the first calendar that I would normally do on that cover page would be for memory keeping. And then I would do like a functional, this is the planning side of things on the next page. I just scrapped the memory keeping one. I do have a memory keeping space. It is already on the screen in front of you. It's just not filled in. And I'm going to use the first calendar or the only calendar for jotting down appointments, things that I have to remember. I do have a digital calendar, but I have to repeat things for my brain fog to sort of let them sink in a little bit and remember things. So I like to repeat things to make sure that I have a bit more chance of remembering them now. So that is the plan for that. I don't feel like I need the content planner because I wasn't using it. And then on the weekly dashboard / daily setup, I have condensed things down a little bit. As you can see, I did do a Dutch door. Normally this was 2 full page spreads. So two page spreads, sorry. And I did do a Dutch door. I did use my decorative ruler as well, and that ended up being a little bit of a problem for week 2 because I've been using the excess as like a tip-in. As you can see there, I did it there for this current week as you're watching this. So yeah, it was a little bit of a choice, but I'll work with it. It's fine. And on the first portion you saw that I put down the headers habits. So I always track my habits weekly as opposed to monthly. It gives me a bit of flexibility if I want to change things around, though admittedly recently I haven't really wanted to. I want to focus on the same habits and just see how I get through them. Like I've mentioned in this video already, I do have chronic illness, and so sometimes it's really difficult to even do half of things on that habit list, but that is easily going to be shown in how much I use my journal. So I can sort of track those days and go, I was having a low day that day. But apart from that, I really like weekly planning anyway. I really like to hyperfixate on just like a certain amount of space as opposed to like a whole month, or so I can just break it down and, take each day as it comes. So I'm working on the dailies now. It used to be like a 2-page spread, as I mentioned, but I've condensed it down to this little portion here on the right hand side. And if I don't make a to-do list, I can just write down what happened that day if I want to, or I could decorate it with more stickers. So that is the beauty of just sort of being a bit more flexible with how I'm using my journal currently. As I've mentioned many times, my reading journal is my main journal. It is where I put the most energy. So it sometimes may feel like this one doesn't get as much energy put into it, and that's because I kind of don't really. I really enjoy my reading journal, and I have multiple, so I do end up spending a lot more time there. It's a bit more of a creative outlet for me than plotting out my to-do lists. So not to say that I don't enjoy this, because if I didn't, I wouldn't do it. But yeah, I really enjoy that. I did break the sticker here right now, and it was really frustrating to me. And I was actually really enjoying an audiobook at the same time, and it got kind of like, I wouldn't say dark, but like something like adventurous happened at that point, and they were in like a dark forest type thing. And I was like, oh my God. And I think I ripped it at that point. So yeah, but it worked out. Spain looks a bit weird, but it fits in the box. Sometimes I write notes in that 8th box. And most of the time, though, I've been decorating it with stickers because I haven't really been writing notes lately. So I thought, well, it's a nice space to put another sticker. On this side here of the Dutch door, I decided that I would put my priorities list. Made sense to put it right next to the dailies so I can look at what I still have on my list to do and then add them to the dailies if I need to write a to-do list, or if I want to write a to-do list. I did print out all these headers. I also printed out the floral stickers that you've seen. I've got 2 of them. And I also printed out the boarding pass sticker. The rest all came on the washi tape roll, the pre-cut roll. So that's really good. And all the stickers that I've used is just one rotation. There's so much more on the roll. Washi tape shop have the most expensive rolls. I've still not finished in a single roll yet. And I still have heaps left. And I went really heavy on a year of the horse, that theme for February, and I used so many of those stickers, and I still have a heap on the roll. So very affordable for the amount that you get on each roll. And I thought I was done at this point and went to go do a final flip through, and then I realized I was not done. So this is the part where I mentioned I've added memory keeping in. So I always do a weekly calendar view on every week dashboard for my weeklies. So I can just see what's going to happen in that particular week. So the top row is going to be for those appointments, things that are coming up. And then the bottom row is going to be for memory keeping. So I think this is going to work out really well. It's just going to keep it all in the same space. And fingers crossed, I use it the way that I want to. I didn't see the point in putting the date twice. So I just put it in the area where I'm going to be putting down appointments. And that is what I want my weekly dashboard to look like for this cycle. And I'm hopeful that it will work. I am kind of using it already for the last week of cycle 3. As you can see, me flipping back to it, it's pretty much the same setup. But now we're at the final flip through once I've added on this bar here. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I'm so appreciative of everyone who has sent well wishes recently. I try really hard not to talk about health in my videos too much, but it is a part of me. So until we next meet, I hope you have fun reading or journaling, and I'll see you soon. Bye everyone.